On Saturday, we're gonna try and do
All right, I'm gonna try something new as well. Let's try this screen share thing. Can you see me? Can you see everything okay? Can you see my screen?
Looks
if anyone
good.
does think that you're not gonna make that or one
Okay. I can't see the chat, so
game.
I'll watch it for you.
okay, perfect.
And then
So my basic tagline, and I'll get into who I am a little bit here in a second, but my basic tagline is, if I can digitize it, I will monetize it. So it's a mindset. It's something that I very much have drawn into. Really leaned in hard about everything can be digitized. If you have that mindset, it just blows you away. When I say digitize, anything from like a scanner, your phone, you can take pictures of that sort of thing. If you can digitize it, it's very monetizable. Okay. So, but we're here to talk about printables. But first, I gotta introduce you to my crew. Of course, you know who I am. I'm Nick, or Nicholas. My wife, Becky, and she's, as I say, like the biggest support cheerleader. In fact, she did bring me over some dinner. I haven't eaten since 11 o'clock this morning, so she knew that I needed some recharge food. And then, of course, my son, Carlos, he is a senior in high school this year. And I always have to tell people he has been very fortunate, because I'm so stinking proud of him. It's just unbelievable. He is also a private pilot, licensed at 17. So he can fly a plane. And this is awesome. Yeah. So it was a big deal for us. And then I keep forgetting, we've had Grace. She's our special girl. She has melted our heart, and she is a Great Dane. She was a rescue back in October. We got her, and she is so awesome. She's 5 years old now. So that is our crew. That is who we are. And my mission statement is basic and simple. I create printables and digital products that are used as tools for impacting people's daily lives. And by that, I mean, once you have a printable or a digital download product, or you have something you can give away, you have something to sell, you have something to bundle, and all these things can be packaged together to change somebody's life. And we'll get more into that as we go through this webinar presentation. All right, what are printables? Basic question. I mean, that's basic, like, what are printables? And the answer is, printables can be many different things, but I'm going to focus on a couple key ones that you may resonate with. Printables can be passive income. And basically, passive income, I'm sure we're all probably familiar with the term. Like, you create once and you put a little work in up front by creating something once, or cultivate it over time, and then it just keeps generating income. Excuse me. Printables can be also, going back into the idea of passive income, it's money that never sleeps. I get sales at 2 a.m. I get sales at 2 p.m. I get sales at 6 a.m. It doesn't matter. The clock is always there for money that comes in once I have a digital product, and like a printable. So that's the basic of the money part. But here's the best that I always like to focus on in printables, that it can change habits. And that's the part of impacting people's lives in my mission statement. Of a printable can change a habit. If you have something to track with, if you are writing something down of guidance, which would be tracking. And then in those tracking printables in particular, or you change your life, right? By the idea is that if you have a habit, you're going to track it, and then you want to make improvements. There's a lot of people that go out and create a list, and they don't follow through. And so they're always looking. When I say don't follow through, I mean, they just don't have the right printable for them, and they might create it. But as printable publishers, as what I like to now call myself into being, is I'm offering them a printable product that may fit their needs. So, and we'll go into some examples of that. Printables can also be a legacy. Now, I have a whole entire thought process on legacy and printables and Amazon Kindle Direct Publishing books, but in a nutshell, and like referencing the learning resource printables, it's something that are the same worksheets that are now and available today as what it was when I was in school 40 years ago, because I'm 45. And so that is a legacy that can continue on, and we can, teach our kids, like in the learning resource printables. That's a legacy of learning that can continue on. I remember when I was in fifth grade, my fifth grade teacher, Mr. Don Lanfear, he had worksheets that were specifically designed for me by him to help me with my spelling. Now, 40 years later, I don't know as though I use all that knowledge, because I use a lot of different programs for my language and my spelling, but those worksheets were part of my legacy, or part of his legacy to carry on to me. So printables can be definitely legacy. Now, there is definition in terms for printables. We'll just get right into the definition of it so we can build some framework ideas around it. Printable or printables are basically pieces of work that can include drawings, graphic design, ideas, documents that you can download online or off the internet or through an email service or anything like that, that you print yourself on a home computer. So that is the key part of it, that you can print yourself on a home computer. Printables can, I don't know if they can actually, I don't want to say that. They can be print on demand, but the print on demand would be the part that you decide when you want to hit the print button to print it to your printer. But that's the key part of what printables are. It's something that you download or you purchase and download it, and then you can print it on a home computer. Now, you're going to ask, what kind of printables are selling? I get this question when I was at Proven. I got this question a lot, and I loved it because I could go on and talk about what printables are selling. There's just unreal what type are selling. Educational printables, we had a little chat just quickly, and I, of course, can't see it now, but we're talking about Teachers Pay Teachers. And that's not the only site that sells learning resources or educational printables. You can also purchase educational printables off of Etsy and as well as Amazon. There's a Amazon Ignite Digital, but we'll get into that towards the end here. So there's other printables that are like leisure and entertainment. And really, I like talking about, these a lot more than I do the learning resources. I just find because it's wide open, like word searches. And as you can see, here's a little printable in the middle here, fill in your own child's chore dice. And this is something that I created and sell in one of my shops. And you put together this dice to give you instructions, and of course you roll the dice, and that's the chore they got to do, right? It's just something fun. So that was a little leisure entertainment. And then I also do like plans for like woodworking community and so forth, but that would be in definitely leisure and entertainment. There's other printables that are informational, like a calendar, word art, that type of thing. If you had like even a rock concert or art fair that's going on, these are printables that are people are looking for to maybe even just have customized, or the ability to customize to fit their area that they want to draw information to. So like the autumn art fair, Canva does it, but not everybody has Canva. Maybe they want just the printable, and you just happen to have something unique and powerful for information. Looking at the benefits of fruit, this was one that I had found in Canva as an example, because I was like, I got to find some informational printables to share here. The benefits of fruit, that may be something that would be needed by somebody that was have a cafeteria or something like that, and they didn't want to create that, but they're willing to purchase this as a printable to print off their computer and then put up where they need to. Let's say it was a cafeteria director, or something like that. So that would give that information. A lot of talk has always been about organizational, and actually I'm just looking really quick to make sure that I spell organizational correctly. And it looks like I did. A lot of talk in the printable space is about organizational printables. And those are really the chore charts and the saving trackers, and then, just basic things like that, where we're tracking things in organizational, chronological type orders. A lot of talk, a lot of opportunities out there. If you had, budgeting, like a unique budgeting plan, and you want to design something to help somebody budget. Like for instance, here, the saving tracker, where we have the little piggy bank and then the dollars, so you can fill in those type of things. Those are very popular, and those are things that sell in the printable. Now, one area that I that's wrong. I have just been concentrating a lot more on in the last several months is niche printables. And niche printables are basically, I had to come up with a term to call it, like the recipe cards that I share, that I scan in with my computer scanner, and then I turn them into a PDF, as well as like old letters and stuff. So I wanted to give it like a name so everybody could understand what that would be. And I came up with the idea that niche printables, these are huge in the scrapbooking community, miniature community, resin community, that type of thing, these type of niche printables. And there's other little subsets of it, but these things sell. And you can go to Etsy, you can go on a Google search and just type in like junk journals. I always tell people, just look up junk journals. Type in Google junk journals, and you'll see ideas and opportunities of just scanning some stuff and digitizing it, and possibly turning it into like this creative tag set that is a printable that somebody can purchase and cut out and make into their journals or that type of thing. So how am I doing, Jenny? Am I doing okay with my pace?
Yep, you're doing great.
Okay,
And lots
perfect.
of great questions. I'm answering some of them, but I know you'll cover a lot of the information,
perfect.
guys. We are getting more people in, and you're a little active in the chat, which is awesome, but maybe put your questions in the Q&A, and that way they're just easier to track. We want to make sure we get to them.
Awesome. So, some of the questions I had gotten in Proven conference was, where can you sell printables? Now, I have a few areas that I really focus on, and I'm going to go ahead and share those with you. On these marketplaces, these are the ones that I focus on, as well as my own websites. But Etsy is an opportunity marketplace that I share a lot more of than the Teacher Pay Teachers or the Amazon Ignite or even my own website, because Etsy has a traffic base that it's there. Like there's customers there, they're going there. That it's just unreal. And it also has the ability to sell digital download products. The other part of it is it's super easy and simple, and it's relatively inexpensive. Now, when I say relatively inexpensive, it's 20 cents a listing for 4 months. So you can have 100 listings, 100 different digital products for $20 for 4 months. I wish that was the case with eBay, but that's another thing. Teachers Pay Teachers, I love it. It's great, like I said, for learning resources. And I want to also mention that Etsy and Teacher Pay Teachers offer their own organic traffic. And there's other methods and strategies to drive traffic. I personally use Pinterest, but I always like to say Teacher Pay Teachers and Etsy, if you're falling into the majority of the printables, those are the two that I like to steer people to. Amazon Ignite, it is an invitation. You have to apply. I don't know where that is with, how quick it would be for you to be accepted. Some people will be flat out denied. I don't know the reasoning why, but there is a program for it. And I don't get organic traffic there. I have to drive traffic through an email list to my Amazon Ignite account, but it is there. There is an opportunity there. So the big question is, why have a printable income stream? I could tell you just from my own personal experience or my own business day experience today, why I choose to have a printable income stream. One, there's no warehouse inventory. Okay, the warehouse inventory is literally very minimal. Like, it's in a hard drive, it's in the cloud, it's it's on thumb drives, it's on CD discs. If there's a such thing, I have a bunch of them. But like today, I had sold some items, and I actually had to go to my shelf, which you probably not can see. I go to my shelf where I have all these little boxes, and the shelf takes up a lot of space. And so that's why I like to have the idea of, or not the idea, I like to have a printable income stream. There's no physical products to ship. I think it was like, what, 23 products I had to ship out today. Whereas I don't know what my daily sale today was on the printable products that I have, or the digital download products, but I didn't have to ship those. That was still, it's like extra money, extra income that came in that was just really nice to have. And here's the big thing that I like, as we starting to hear more and more about refunds and the refund policies, and people want their money back on Etsy. And this is, I'll get into this a little bit more. There's what I call a nope refund policy. If it's a digital product and you sell it as a digital product, you don't have to give a refund. Now, I will say, if somebody says, hey, I want a refund, or if there's a lot of issue with the customer back and forth, or they seem like they're gonna be a problem, they just want their money back, right? I just give it to them. It's a couple bucks, it's maybe $10 or whatever, and I just give it to them. Now, I could, draw it out and say, no, I'm sorry, you should have read the description, but it didn't really cost me anything. There was no shipping involved. There was no, no physical, like a use by date, or, wasn't perishable item. It was just like, it was a digital product. And the idea is I'm going to make it up in volume anyways. And really, quite honestly, if somebody wanted to buy it and get a refund and I gave them the refund, what's the chances that they may not use it anyways? It's very likely. The other part is, I always like to share about why you should start a printable income stream, is the repurpose of content. Now, you can see, like here, I have this little cute picture as I was going through and putting these slides together. The boots with the flowers in it. I mean, that's a pure example of just repurposing something that you already have. Now, if you have gone through the 10 books in 10 days with Jenny, that's awesome. You already have a source for printables. That would be the interiors of pages and so forth. Now, I would encourage you to take, if you do have interior pages from your Amazon KDP books, to maybe change those up a little bit, or don't. You can sell it to a different set of buyers as individual printables, or a set of printables on Etsy versus your Amazon book. So you're just repurposing that content. The other part that I always like to share, and I go through some of my own hard drives, I'm finding things like old resumes that I've used to apply for jobs. I found one day like a recipe of when I worked as an industrial painter, like my process, like my flow sheet of my, what do we call it? The standard operating procedures of, okay, I have this much paint, this much primer, how much my spray time is, and so forth. Now, that might not seem like it is worth anything, but there's probably somebody that would like to have that. So I could repurpose that content that was in a Word document that I could share and sell as a printable. The other part is a printable income stream can offer sustainable income. And when I say sustainable income, it's there. Like, it's not going to fall off. When you run out of product in a physical business or physical product business, or somebody jumped on your listing and Amazon, your income may go up and down, right? Like, it's not there, it's not sustainable, and you're always maybe chasing for that physical product. Not to say that that is a bad thing, because you can always find those products, but with printables, your inventory is always what you want to change your quantity to be. So that makes it, I feel, more sustainable, having as an income stream. And here's my best thing that it's not even the best thing. It's what is my number one driver. And I can go in really quick in my philosophy on this. Anyone can create a printable income stream. The beauty of having a printable income stream is your children can be involved in this. And I'm just going to touch really base on this. Is something that's near and dear to my heart, and I've shared it with others as well, that when I was in high school, like my son, I had the opportunity to go work at a restaurant. Now we've had the world events that's happening where restaurants are becoming an issue. You know, we can't get in, or there's just a lot of things there. I won't even touch on that. But as I have gotten older, I've seen that those jobs that teenagers, like when I was my son's age, are being either replaced by kiosk or grown adults that absolutely need to have those jobs because they weren't making enough at their other jobs. So they're picking up these second and third type of jobs to make ends meet. Whereas if you have a child or you have a teenager that you could maybe set them up on a printable income stream alongside you, that is definitely a benefit, because it's an income stream that will carry on for as long as they want to have that as an income stream.
And homeschooling is a big thing right now too. And so
Yes.
it's just growing more. So if you're homeschooling, or maybe you're a part of a homeschool co-op, this is even an opportunity that you can share. It's a great way. You know, we tend to learn more too, and we're the ones teaching. So that gives your kids an opportunity. Maybe they're creating some worksheets, or, you know, whatever it is around things that they're learning. Anyway, lots of opportunity there as well to get your kids involved.
Right. And it's so low to no cost, you know, like maybe a pen and a piece of paper, entrepreneurial business. It really is. And so that's one of the things that I always like to share and really kind of draw more emphasis on it with kids, that anybody can do it. Now, the other part is printable income can grow when you need to rest. This last weekend, we had some family events that went on, and I needed to rest. I needed to rest for the weekend. I had orders to ship out that came in on Friday night after 5 o'clock. They can wait until Monday. Normally I would have pushed like, oh, I got to have these out on Saturday. Well, the nice part about it is I took the weekend, I was resting, and my income still was coming in from my printables that I have listed and sold, you know, or listed to sell rather. So yeah, while I was resting, I was still making it. Now here's the other part. It's just plain fun. I mean, just to see like color worksheets, see people interact with different printables. I'll tell just a really quick story. You know, sitting in a Sunday school service, and one of the printable pages, the coloring pages I drew out, I mean, it was very crude. I mean, seeing this 4-year-old coloring on it is like, that's pretty awesome. So it was fun just to see, and it was rewarding. So anytime you could see somebody doing that sort of thing with a printable, you could say, you know, I want to be a part of that. I want to be part of that excitement that offers that to people, which goes back to my ideas of the legacy. All right, Jenny, you ready to get into some examples? All righty.
Good.
Okay, so let's get into some examples here. I've talked about this lady, and this slide is very current. Very current being like I just made it a couple hours ago. I've talked about the lady before. If you've heard about a nursing student by the name that goes by the Etsy shop name RN Explained, and her sales have dropped a little bit from previous times I've shared it, which is not bad still, right? It's still 98 sales a day. And this is coming from a tool called erank.com. That's one of the tools that I use. There is a free version, and then there's a paid version. You don't have to have the paid version, but it just gives you a little bit more features, and it's like $10 a month. So I can't complain for what the information I get out of it. As you can see, her shop age is only 1.2 years old, and her sales for that course of her shop is $41,748. Now, if you were to do some quick math, just based on her 98 sales, and I'll show you where I get the average of $15 a day. That ends up being $1,470 a day. I think that's pretty good. I think that's doing quite well.
Doing very well. I think it's what we got to $500,000.
Yeah. Yep, exactly. So this is her Etsy shop store. And do you want me to go into her and Etsy? Can I go ahead and do that?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you see her shop now versus the slide? Okay,
Yep.
Perfect. So her shop is RN Explained. Like I said, she was a nursing student. She's from LA, California. Now, the last announcement update, I don't know if this was the last time she interacted with her store. She may have added extra products or not, but her last announcement update was back in May 16th, 2021. So what if that was like the last time she actually touched this shop?
3 months ago.
It's still selling as of a couple hours ago when I did the slide, 100 a day, right? 98 items a day. That's not too bad. Not too bad. Now, where I got the $15 average, she has some listings here that are 20, some that are 15, 150. I just picked a number. 15 sound reasonable, and I just went with it to get my daily average. And I'll just click in really quick. You can see this is her notes are just handwritten. I'm sure she probably didn't do this while she was taking them in class. She probably rewrote them, but she put a little effort, right? But the other part of it is she also made it very simple for others to get them.
Yeah.
Very simple for her in the printable income stream business of publishing it. Just wrote on a piece of paper, scanned them in, and turned them into a PDF, and now is selling them every day, all day, that type of thing. So, and let's just take a really quick look. So I want to leave a little tidbit information here on Etsy. Some sellers have the option to deactivate where you wouldn't see what is being sold. And what you do is you go underneath the shop name, you'll see the number here, the 41,749. If you click on that, it will pull up what has been selling. And so you can see, like, even it'll tell you over 20 people have this in their cart. So there's people that are coming and looking and buying and using her notes. I will say my very own sister-in-law, when I was talking to her about nursing and she went on to become an RN, she bought some of these notes from this RN Explained lady, and she said they're phenomenal. So she really knows her stuff about notes and obviously how to sell them on Etsy. So okay, let's go back over to our presentation here. Arrows and Applesauce is another store that I like to share, and Jenny, you and I were talking about before the presentation today or the webinar today. We're getting, so I want to make sure that everybody understands. I was showing like the very niche, the very I don't want to, is it not niche, but the very I want to say drastic, like process of like somebody that is very skilled. That's what it is. Somebody is very skilled, has a very set of skills that they are selling their notes with and making a very high dollar amount. Now we're going to kind of go through on the examples and show you that something that is very much more attainable for us. That would be, maybe not as skilled, or we want to just ramp up, or we have something already in our digital inventory. So that's why I wanted to share this here. This person here, Arrows and Applesauce, they've sold 80,532 items in 3.8 years. Their average sales per day is 59. I'm just rounding it up to 59. And their average price of their printable, or printables, what I figured was $3 per download or per printable that is purchased. So doing some quick math, I think it was, yeah, I think, well, it's $177 a day.
So $64,000 a year.
Yeah, that's pretty, yeah, that's pretty
Or
good.
a little over $5,000 a month. That's
Yeah.
all automated passive income. You put the work done, put the work at the beginning, and then you let it work for you. Did I miss it? Did you show what these products look like?
Nope, I'm gonna do that next. So this is this shop here. And let's see, fun. So can you see that Etsy shop?
There we
now?
go. Yep.
Okay, perfect. So arrows and applesauce, these are a little more polished. I mean, it's a little, if you have some more creativity or if you know somebody that's creative that could help you out with, but still they are just learning resource type printables. Like trying to think of finding one. Oh, here's a good one. Latin printable worksheet, noun cases, and I don't even know how to say that word. I don't know.
Declensions. I'd have to look it up.
Declensions? Yeah,
Sure,
that's
we'll go with that.
Yeah, declensions. I'm glad you said that because I would have butchered it. But this is a tracing worksheet, right? Trace and match, just using Latin. Latin is definitely one of the topics, the ideas of teaching. I wish that they taught Latin in my son's school, but they don't. But anyways, that's all it is. And this is $4 per unit per item. And let's go back over to their shop here, and you can see just looking at some of the other items, like place and value, place village, printables, numbers. Again, just really focusing on the learning type resources. I want to say that I've seen one here that was working with Montessori type education, which was more hands-on type of education, I guess. And so yeah, that was one of the examples that I like to share when we were talking about. Now the other part is, what if this person, this Kristen, which you can see her name over here on Etsy. What if this was the last time that she had interacted with her shop, which was on July 19th, 2021, when she posted this sales coupon, and maybe she hadn't uploaded anything. She only has 116 products, and she's still making pretty decent money. What do we say, 5,000 a month, roughly, based off of those numbers? I think it was. Jenny?
I think it was 5,300
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
a
So
month. Yep.
not bad. Not bad.
Nope.
Another one that we were looking at, girls who budget. Very interesting, very unique. 19, we'll say, I gotta change my slide here, Jenny. So I have 98 sales.
Oh, okay.
So
I'll do the math.
Yeah, so we'll do the quick math. So let's
So
say
20,
it's
20. Is it $4 average still?
yeah, yep, still $4
So we're
average.
at $80 a day, right? So that's $560 a week.
Yeah.
Which is about a little under $30,000 a year. And so what I say it was a day, $80 a day.
Yeah.
So an extra okay, let's do this. An extra, couple $1,000s a month for something you don't have to ship. You don't have to do any of these things for. You don't have to keep, go to the store and buy it again and send it in. You don't have to recreate it every time. You do it once and you get it up there and it sells for you over and over again. It's that passive income. So how many of you could wouldn't mind getting an extra $2,000 a month with a couple hours of work on that front end, and then you just let it work for you? Okay, then you repeat that, right? You do it again. So yep, absolutely, I agree, Emily.
Yeah.
I don't know many people who would say, it's such, a couple $1,000s a month is a lot of money for most people, and that can really make the difference between that can pay some good bills. There's a lot of things it can do for you. So this isn't something to take lightly.
So to talk about like in this shop in particular, we're going to run some basic numbers. The shop age is 351 days. It's under a year, right? I mean, by one
Mhm.
day, right? Or no. Yeah.
Three.
365. Yeah.
Okay.
I was testing your math
summer.
skills, Jenny.
No, don't do that.
So at $351 a day and at $4 for the cost minus the 20 cents. And then there's 5% charge. So let's say it's $3.20 that they profit off of this per
Mhm.
listing, right? So if you did 320 times times 20 a day, right? So $3, 3.20
So
times
$64
64
times
times
30.
300.
So, oh, okay. Well, I was going to say 30 is for a month,
Yeah.
but
But even if you went with their shop age and they had
gotcha.
starting from day one at 351 days at $3.20 per item, at 20 items, that is $22,464 so far for the 351 days profit.
Now, I will say you
Yeah,
can
that's
probably
pretty-
make more
pretty
than
good.
this.
Pretty
You could probably make more. Oh, my connection's weird. Hold on. You can probably make more than this selling physical product. Okay. So this isn't, we're not even talking about something to replace. This is like an additional income stream that is very easy to put into place. And you put the work all in at the beginning and you don't have, it doesn't take the same amount of work that selling physical products does. All the work's done at the beginning and then you just let it up there and they do the work. They deliver it to themselves. You know, Etsy delivers it for you really to their email or whatever web page, and they download it and print it themselves. So you don't have to do any of that stuff. No shipping, none of that. So I mean, you might think, well, with physical products, you know, I'm seeing people making that much in a month, $22,000 in a month. Well, that's awesome. But how much work are they putting into that? And wouldn't it be cool to be able, I mean, think of this as an additional income stream, or it could be your only income. Well, that's another topic, but you know, you could focus and have this be the main part of your income, totally fine, but it can easily become an additional income stream that's quite substantial.
Mhm. Yeah, definitely. And then going back to maybe you have somebody in your family that could benefit in helping you out, you know, and creating printables, and then that gives them a little bit of opportunity. You know, I know I have that scary uncle that I was always asking for money. Here, make some printables for me. You know?
Scary uncle.
Not really, but so another shop that we were talking about. Did I skip a slide? Maybe I did. Oh, nope. This is the Girls Whose Budget, and we'll just go into that really quick.
Oh, what their products look like.
Yeah, what their products look like.
Okay, this is exciting to me.
Yeah, because this is I think when we were talking about this, Jenny, you were mentioning about students of the 10 books in 10 days.
Mhm.
They may already have this sort of thing in your KDP book interiors.
Yep. So we're talking low content books, right? In the 10 books in 10 days. If you guys have pack and you go in there, there's a class for KDP and we talk about creating journals and things like that. But this type of a product, can you go to look at that one?
Yeah, let me go back actually. Yeah, I want to go back to here because I just clicked on this and I see that there's another opportunity and I want to talk about.
Okay.
Okay.
But that first, yeah.
So, oh, this one here?
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha. Yep. Okay, there we go.
There we go. So pages that look like this might be inside of your low content book and your whole book might be full of these. Well, you can take like what Nick was saying at the beginning, when you're repurposing your content, you can take what you've done in a KDP book, take those pages and you can list them on Etsy and vice versa. So maybe you start here and then you eventually compile everything together and it turns into a KDP book that you sell on Amazon. Same content, not that much more work to put them on 2 different platforms. You also, I suppose you could put something, if it was relevant, on, you know, the teaching platform as well. So, you know, it's all that game of leveraging what you're doing to its full extent is really important. But these are the types of books that we're creating in 10 books in 10 days and talking about are these logs, these workbooks, these things where you're tracking something. So if you have those already, guys, get them on Etsy. Get that. It's just that PDF that you're listing on Etsy. It's not the actual book, that you order from KDP. It is the interior page. Just set it up for Etsy. Maybe it's, 5 pages of your book, not the whole thing. And list that as a downloadable PDF for 20 cents and get some other sales coming from another platform.
Now, this is something that Jenny, you and I really haven't talked a whole lot about, but here's another opportunity. So if you're selling this as a printable from your KDP book, right? You created a PDF. And I like to always add in the end page, the last page of my PDF, what is called a call to action. And that call to action page is actually where I put links to my books, or I may put where to go to my website, or other type of even affiliate type of links in it. So when they purchase the PDF or the printable, they get that other information that they can actually go purchase other more items for it. If they, like, for instance, we'll take this, was it 2 PDFs? So it's 2 pages. Let's say I had it as 3, but my third page was my call to action. And it would be my call to action, like, hey, would you like to have this in a printed book form? Here's my Amazon link. Feel free to go over there and purchase it. Then I could drive traffic for that. So that's another beauty that I like in selling printables, and then also selling on Etsy. Etsy can be like a marketing machine for you too, for other products that you may have and other platforms. So, but yeah, that's definitely one of the things to think about. Now, can I go to what I just discovered and talked about? Okay, so this is a Google Sheet. I'm sure we're all familiar with Google Sheets or spreadsheets. This person here is selling their spreadsheet as a digital product.
Yes.
It's not necessarily probably a printable, but it's a digital product, which is a
Google Sheets. Yep.
So it would probably already have the formula. Maybe you already have stuff like this in your hard drive that you use to track in your business. Take out your personal information, take out your numbers, write a little instruction worksheet on how to access it and how to use it, and then sell it as a printable along with the Google Sheets. Spreadsheets are, I mean, as you can see here, this is where I'm going to go into a little bit deeper dive. 9 reviews for this item here. Hopefully you can see it. 98 reviews. So it's a guarantee that you have to make it in order for you to make a purchase, or in order for you to write a review for this product, you have to make a purchase. So how many people don't really write reviews? But 98 of them actually took the time to do it. So 98 times $5, we'll just say, right? That's not too bad.
So I want to just say something, guys. Just remember the way that Nick is using the term printable. So this isn't something you would print, but it is something that is digital. It's digital inventory. And that's really, so even though they say digital download there underneath the highlights and a PDF, I mean, it really isn't. It's a Google Sheet, right? So it's that spreadsheet. Another thing you can do is Trello boards. You can make Trello templates. That's the same kind of thing. We've talked about Canva templates as well. But I know a few people who use Google Docs, and that's instead of having a website for their deliverable, it'll be like a checklist that's on a Google Doc. And they'll give the link as the download, and that's what people can use. And you can change it and update it. So maybe you have compiled a huge list of resources for something, and you just put all of these, maybe it's a list of vendors or a list of keywords. I mean, keeping in that, where we're at, but maybe it's even a grocery list that you've put together that goes along with a meal plan or something like that. You can do that all within Google Docs and share that. And if you need to change it, you can just change it right there. And the next person who buys it, it's already updated for them, right? So it doesn't have to be a PDF. When he's talking about printables, it's really digital products, however they end up using it. Sometimes people buy PDFs and they never even print them. They just look at them on their screen, right? So that's really what you're talking about with printables. The opportunities are incredible. And right before we got on, earlier today, we were talking about coming up with some different examples. And easily we were just going, I'm like, hey, what about this one? And we're, easily finding these examples. There's so much opportunity here. It's actually a lot of fun. So anyway, I'm glad you pointed that out.
Yeah, yep. So there's that opportunity. I think I have one more. Yep. Yeah, because Jenny, you and I, we were talking about Mindiana Jones.
Yep.
Mindiana Jones Designs.
Brilliant name.
Yeah, this shop here. Again, a $4 printable cost, right? And I'll share what those printables look like on this shop in particular. Make an average of $12 or 12 sales a day. Shop is only like 1.1 year, 1 month, roughly. We'll just say one year. Make it $48 a day. That's not too bad. I mean, it doesn't seem like a lot, but when you adding that printable income stream to your business that you don't have to do anything with, or maybe, as I said, you have your scary uncle helping you out with, $48 a day is just nice to have a little extra of that in the bank, and this is what her website or her Etsy shop looks like.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, is that crazy?
That's so creative. I love it.
Yeah. And she actually talks, I mean, I was just reading through some of her stuff, like her shop information. I want to focus in on, the last time that she may or may not have interacted with her shop was on August 5th. So not too long ago. That was announcement, and this up here would be the announcement. But what if she had these 144 products that she created over time, like over the course of a year? She set aside maybe to do 2 a month, to build up that deal there. So 144. Yeah, I mean, I easily have done maybe 2, no, not 2 a month, maybe 2 a week. Yeah, maybe 2 or 3 a week, right? So, which is not bad. I mean, I guess what I'm trying to get at is you get out of it what you put into it. And she wanted to make 2 or 3 a week, and now she's making $48 a day. And her shop is only going to grow. She doesn't have to do a whole lot with it. And let's click into some of these printable opportunities she has here. Menu kit. This is very unique here. 5 retro diner menus and planners, right?
Nice.
Grocery lists. Very nice, very elegant design, but yet still simple. Jenny, have you ever used GoodNotes before on your iPad? So she's offering not only the printable version, but also an iPad. If you're familiar with GoodNotes, is an iPad app. Of course, you got the monochrome. And then, of course, there is the menu design, the planner type of thing. These can be edited menus in Google Slides or PowerPoint. Again, leveraging other areas of digital download products, being like Google Slides or PowerPoint product. That can be where you can design your own. And there you have it. So that's those items there. Which is, like I said, I just love that name.
I know.
Indiana Jones.
I know. Okay, real quick. Facebook just has pulled a number on me today. So I just wanted to say that if some people are just coming on right now because the event time, it changed to 6 o'clock instead of 5 o'clock. So I just wanted to real quick say, Nick's been talking about printables. The replay is going to be made available. Printables are basically a digital product, a PDF, a PNG. We talked about it being able to be a Google Doc, a spreadsheet, a Trello board template, a Canva template, anything that's digital. And we were just going through and giving some examples of that. We do have some questions to get to, but let's go ahead and finish and then we'll go to the questions. And even if you came on late, you want to ask questions, go ahead and throw them in there. That's not a real complicated process, but what we're finding, I mean, people you just don't understand what the opportunity is. And that's really what I'm excited about with what we've been sharing, what Nick's been sharing tonight, is to have you guys be able to see what this huge opportunity is that's just sitting there waiting to be taken advantage of. So anyway, why don't you go ahead and finish up, and then we can circle
Okay.
back around a little bit if we need to.
So this is, I'm getting to the end of my slides here. So as I say, I said at the beginning of the webinar, if I can digitize it, I'll monetize it. Again, that is a mindset that, as you can see, I very much adopted. And I encourage you to really, really explore that and what that would mean to you, and ask yourself, can I digitize something? Next time you pull out your phone, or you have some of your kids art, like I call it refrigerator art, as we're getting ready to get into the school season, or even if you're homeschooling, scan that stuff in. Maybe there's an opportunity for you to sell that as a printable, even if it's like a worksheet or checklist, or as Jenny said at the beginning of the webinar, your grocery list, how you would organize your grocery list on a piece of paper, and make it available as a printable for somebody else. Because really, as we were sharing some of these lower dollar amounts, the $3, $5, $10, you're actually, when people buy that, they're wanting to buy their time back, right? And that's the beauty of printables. When you can leverage that, you're wanting to offer a product to somebody to buy their time, then it's a win-win, right? Because I know that there's some printables that I just didn't want to take the time to make, that I needed to purchase. Now I could have done it, I could have made them, but maybe it was going to cost me an afternoon.
Right.
But if that was a printable that I knew that was going to be available for me for a long time, like 10 years or something like that, I probably would have. 10 years is pretty excessive. Let's say, anyways, I'm just going to go back to what I was saying. People are going to want to leverage their time, so they're willing to pay for that. That's why we have fast food restaurants. You go there because you just don't feel like cooking today. It might take
any
you
restaurant for that matter.
Yeah. So yeah, so printables is pretty much on the same line, same mind and thought process. If you have something that you either wanted to create and spend an afternoon, that that would be a benefit to others to purchase, throw it up. Make it available to sell. So now, are we ready, Jenny, to talk about what we have going forward?
Yeah, let's do that, and then we'll get to the questions.
Okay. So 5printablesin5days.com. That's something that Jenny and I have been working together and creating a class. And so in the 5 printables in 5 days, this is exclusive to the my sales team, which I'm going to tell you is I love you guys. I love everybody that's in this group. It was great to meet you at Proven Conference, and those I didn't meet, I can't wait to look forward to. Oh man, screwing this up. I can't wait to see and meet you, and look forward to meeting you if I didn't get a chance to meet you at Proven this next coming year. But anyways, 5 printables in 5 days. For 5 days, you get a whole ton. And you said it last time we offered this, Jenny. I pour the fire hose on.
Yes,
I'm
you
making
do.
printables. Making printables. I'm there. I'm Jenny's there. The idea is to have you be successful. If you want to add this to your business as an income stream, or if you want to just make it your main income stream, or if you want to offer this as an opportunity to share and show somebody else. When I say success, it's the idea that you are able to either make a little bit of income or impact somebody's life by a printable, as I said, in the legacy part of it. So anyways, I'd like to have you guys join us. There's a coupon code. You're going to save $20. You get the course 5 days for $27. In my world, that's a couple Happy Meals.
Yeah. So we start on Monday, guys, and it's going to be a live class, very similar to the 10 books in 10 days. If you've done that with me, same kind of format where there'll be training every day. And I'm telling you, he really does put on the fire hose in a good way. That content will be available in a Facebook group, a private Facebook group just for this class. And then you'll have access to that group, even when the class is over. So we won't be as involved in the group after probably a week or two after the class is done, but you will always have access to that content. And so that's really important. And Nick does a great job of really showing you what is incredibly impossible. Every time I talk to him, so this afternoon, earlier today, and even this evening, he brings something new that's like just an incredible gem. And that's what he brings into the class as well. So at the end of the 5 days, you'll have 5 printables that you can put up and sell on Etsy if you'd like to, but you'll learn so much more, how to leverage all of that stuff. So we'd love to have you guys join us in the class. Again, we start on Monday. And if you can't make it at the 2 p.m. Pacific, 4 Central, 5 Eastern time frame, the content will be in there available for you to go at your own pace. So you can, anytime during the day, or even if next week's not good, you can do it the week after. Get your kids involved, guys. You can, $27 for your whole family. Get you guys all in there, and you'll get a little access code that'll get you into the Facebook group. You can share that with your family. Get your kids in there. We just love sharing this opportunity, and the amount of light, it's so fun to see the light bulbs go on and to see you guys see what is absolutely possible. So 5 printables in 5 days. We start on Monday, and
don't forget to use the coupon code
Yes.
MST save 20. It's
and hit apply
get you
coupon. You have to apply the coupon
Yeah.
for it to work. So if you don't pay if it doesn't show that the coupon has been activated.
Jenny, I'm going to show that really quick if I could.
Yep.
Just to make sure. So go to 5 printables in 5 days. It'll take you to this website here. 5 printables in 5 days. And then you're just going to scroll down. You can read all about what we have to offer, what to expect. Brief summary, no inventory, no storage. I love using that idea. And then put your billing information, your payment information. Now, where you see where it says price, do you have a coupon? Type in MST save 20. Okay.
Yep.
And then over here, you'll see a little red arrow next to it with a check mark. Click on that, and you can see it gives you $27. Takes 20 bucks off.
Yep.
So it works. Definitely use it. It's a benefit for you. So I really appreciate the time that you've taken and invested and trusted us with this, and hopefully we'll get to see you. And
all right, we got some good questions. Let's see.
Okay.
Emily asked, how do you price printables?
Oh, that's a great question, Emily. How do I price printables? I price printables around food, of eating out. Okay. Now the idea is the first thing that you give up and when your budget gets tight is probably eating out, so that I can relate to food. I'm a petite fella. So I usually price things that are around what the menu is. It sounds crazy, but I'm going to a great point with this. So like a hamburger Happy Meal, $5. A lot of my stuff are $3 to $5. The idea is, it's something that somebody's willing to give up. Now, if I'm bundling bigger things together, and I know, like an example of using RN Explained, she adds a lot of value, a lot of time, a lot of research and stuff into those type of items. Of course, I'm going to price accordingly to what that value is. But the nice part about printables is I can increase my price, or I can run a sale. The same principles of other e-commerce businesses still apply to printables, but I like to stay around the $3 to $7 price ranges.
I would suggest looking at competition and seeing what other like products are listed for, and kind of use that as a template as well. But usually they tend to be less expensive than, a regular product, and that, everybody knows the value that they're getting. It's a digital file. So it's not, it's not like a book, whereas it's going to be a cheap book, or is it going to be you're not paying for the quality of that. So I'd look at competition too. Okay, next question. For those of us who are not graphic designers, what software do you recommend using that is user-friendly for creating printables? Canva or any others?
What do you recommend, Jenny?
I like Canva. I used to use PicMonkey more, but Canva has completely won me over. And even before that, I was a Photoshop, person, but Canva is so easy to use. And that's what we'll be talking about in the 5 printables in 5 days. There'll be some videos about just basics for Canva. So if you're new to it, it's very user-friendly, but it also has some advanced features that you don't necessarily see right on, your first take on there. You got to kind of learn about them. So I love using Canva.
I've become an adopter of Canva. My method of creating printables is in the Adobe Illustrator and Adobe InDesign. I pay for that. You don't have to use that stuff. I only use it because I've been doing it for 15 years, and Canva, I like starting people in Canva, getting, the ideas and getting them going in Canva. And so that's what I like to focus on and sharing to get people going. There's a free version and then there's a paid version, which is only like $13 a month if you want to do it. But you can get by with a free version.
Absolutely. And they have they have graphics you can use, and the elements and photography that you can get the rights to as well. So, okay, David asks, are printables to be regarded like stock photography? I'm not sure.
That's a good question. So printables could be stock photography. For instance, there's a project that I'm working on right now, and actually I guarantee in the class, this is like my little pitch for the class for you to join in. I'm going to show in one of my printables session or classes where you can take the photos and you can turn them into grayscale, and you can so that would be stock photography. Like you created your photo, or if you had other photos that maybe you're in your hard drive that you own the rights to. I want to make sure that that's very, very clear that you own the rights to, that you can turn into a grayscale, being a black and white monochrome print. So if somebody bought it, they printed it, that they would want to color it with coloring pencils. So that would be one of the printables I'm going to share within the class, the idea of it. And because we have a lot of photos, we have access to a lot of our own photos. I know I check my phone, I have like 7,000 on my iPhone.
I know. Yeah.
So just something easy and access to that you could do, and that doesn't take a whole lot of artistry. It doesn't take a whole lot of, we're going to use Canva. I'm going to show you how to turn it into black and white, and then be able to possibly sell it as a coloring page for, adults or, young people as well. But so, yeah. Okay. So stock photos could be one.
Yep. Okay. Emily asks, how do we protect our creations? Copyright, that kind of thing.
That's a great question. The copyright part of it, I'm gonna take this question into two parts. If you're listing something, you can put a watermark on it. So that way they're not, if you have like a picture of your thumb in your product photo or your thumbnail, you put a watermark on it. As far as downloading it and putting a copyright on it and being concerned that somebody's going to buy it and steal it, that's tough. And I quit worrying about it. I quit worrying about that, because my take on the printable income stream is, my job isn't so much to fight the fact that you're using my product. My idea is to be ahead of you and to create more and to be better. And so I want to take a positive mindset and not saying that you shouldn't be concerned about that. And I'm saying that it's a negative, but I just don't want to focus on like somebody coming through and stealing. So I know I've had people do that.
Yeah.
They bought it just to steal it, just to reproduce it.
Yeah.
It happens. So
it's not worth your time to be chasing those people down. Protect yourself like you can't, as much as you can. Most people won't do that. Right. But that's something for ebooks. That's something for anything. People are going to do that. They're that desperate to take a $3 product.
And here's the other beauty of it. And I shared in doing the presentation down at Proven Conference. I've gone through like 7 computers in my lifetime. I have digital die cutting files that I can't access now unless I repurchase them. Because that computer is dead. It's a boat anchor. So I have to go repurchase it. So, there's a little bit of a shelf life in people's drives, and they're always gonna be like, oh man, like an algebra program. I know I wanted that, but I can't get it because it's on a dead computer. So.
All right, next question. Does Etsy or Teachers Paying Teachers, Amazon Ignite provide a preview of the product, or do you have to create a separate preview version of each digital product? Are those, you're talking about thumbnails, Emily? I assume you're talking about the thumbnail images. Yeah, thumbnails.
Yep. No, you would need to create those.
And we talk
Yeah.
about that in the 5 printables in 5 days, how to create them with a watermark on them, or how to blur, some things out or whatever.
And the other part that we'll talk about with the product photos, you always want to put like an indicator on there that this is an instant download on that product photo or that thumbnail, that maybe it was a PDF or something like that. And then also into the description, you want to indicate that as well, that this is a digital product and not a physical product, and that will be mailed to you, just so that there isn't any buyer confusion, especially if you have an already existing shop or already existing Etsy shop. You're already selling physical products, but you don't have a digital product like a printable. If you wanted to add that to your shop, you can do that. You just don't want to have that confusion.
Right. Okay, I know Kyler came in a little bit late. Couple questions. So where do you sell printables? Is it only Etsy? So Nick talked about Etsy, Teachers Paying Teachers, and then Amazon Ignite is also an option. But Etsy seems to be a favorite. You can pretty much put anything up there. So you want to know, he says, how can I start an account? And you want to answer that?
Yeah. How do you start an account? Just you just go to Etsy and it says sign up, go through the process. Now you'll have to have one product already available to upload. So it could be like a picture or something, and you can delete it after you get a couple extra photos or a couple extra printables or digital products up on there. But you have to have at least one. And so, yeah, I mean, it's very, very simple, very easy. Of course, you got to have your credit card information.
Now, Nick did put together a class about just walking through the A to Z for setting up your Etsy class. And I think that will be available as a very steep discount in the 5 printables in 5 days class, because that's beyond the scope of that class, but that is where we're going to be. You'll have your printables basically at the end of the class to then get listed onto your Etsy store. So anyway, let's see. So the biggest difference, this is again, Kyler, between Amazon KDP and printables is multiple pages versus one PDF. Is that right? Not exactly. So your KDP is an actual physical book. In fact, can I brag on my son real quick? He just got a proof for a book that he put together. It's a Minecraft workbook. Okay.
Nice.
And it just came like while we're on the thing here. So anyhow, awesome. So this is a KDP product right here. It's a book. Printable would be him taking the PDF and just selling the PDF. So I'm not sending anything. They're not getting anything physical from me. They're getting a digital file that they can turn into a physical product by downloading it and printing it if they so choose. So it's different. Now he could take the like what's inside of here, I suppose, and turn it into a downloadable PDF that he sells somewhere. But there, now it's bigger.
Oh, there we go. Sorry, I was just thinking about it. Sorry.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
That's
Love the
awesome.
color. Anyway, so this is just the proof. But
and here's another example of that too. I want to share a book here.
Yep.
So hopefully you can see this. String art pattern designs, and literally this is all it is.
Very nice.
And these have been turned into printables as well.
Very nice. Yep.
So the printable, very simple like that.
The printable is the digital file. So if you're familiar with KDP, you are uploading an interior file, a PDF file that is for it's your interior manuscript. So you can either take that whole thing or take pages from that and sell that as a PDF. So it's different in how it's delivered and what the customer is actually getting. Does that make sense, Kyler?
And it could be a different buyer pool too.
That's true.
Different.
Yep, you're reaching a different audience. So David, I have copious amounts of black and white and color photography for sale. Have you run into issue with copyright IP regarding photography as printable inventory? That's a good way to word that question.
No, I haven't, because all the stuff I've ever done has just been original. I do in the niche printables. I use some public domain stuff, and then I also follow. I mean, here's the basics of it, right? To answer your question, hopefully this is going to get it. The same practices that you have in e-commerce business of checking copyright, trademark, if you can sell it type of thing, apply to a printable income stream. So if I have questions on any type of photos or any type of things I might be scanning in, I always check my copyright website, the
Mhm.
USPTO, and then trademark. If I have any question, if I don't have the risk tolerance to sell it, because I don't want to touch it, I don't. I do the same thing with my physical products as well. If I think it's going to cost me my account, I won't do that. I won't
Yeah.
even touch it. So
Yep. Okay. Valerie says, do black and white printables sell better than color? Oh, I had answered that, but I'm curious what your take is on that.
colors sell better. That's my experience. That's just my experience.
It's just nicer visually. They can change it. They can print it as grayscale if they'd like. And I think if your PDF is real heavy, where it's a solid page of color, and that's going to use a lot of gray ink, even if they go with grayscale, maybe you have a black and white version that's included in your download. But I would agree that color is going to be more eye-catching.
But you offer both.
Mm-hmm.
Offer both in the same. You can either offer, you have 3 listings there. You have one that's in a black and white. You have one listing that would be a color, or you have one that's combining it. And then you can increase the price point value of it, right? Or price point to it. Yeah, if you offer both of them. So you have 3 instant products there that you could list.
Yep.
So that's a win-win. Now, I will say that in the color, that's on them. If they want to print it, they know it's full color.
Mm-hmm.
If they don't want to print it, they're not going to buy it, because it's like, oh, if they buy it, that's great. If not, it's a nope. What I call it? The nope refund.
Yep. Yep. Okay, a couple more questions. Valerie's asking, how long are the classes each day? Do you recall? Maybe an hour?
Yeah.
Half hour?
Yep. Yes. Let's just let me just tell you this, how I will guarantee you an hour, but you'll probably get more.
Yeah. And again, it can be at your own pace. So it's great to jump on live. I know not everybody has an hour in their day to be able to take that, but it's just like dropping gems throughout the whole thing, guys. We're just seriously just barely scratching the surface here by letting you see a little bit of what's possible. It will just completely blow your mind. There is so much more opportunity than what was even covered here that will be uncovered in the 5 printables in 5 days. So I would plan for an hour each day if you're going to join us live. And then Valerie also asked, are we allowed to have more than one Etsy store? And if so, would it be better to have printables in one store and physical products in a different store?
That question comes up quite a bit when we were talking this. You can have multiple stores. You just have to follow the guidelines of Etsy, where you have to if you have one shop, you have to put information that you have another shop, so that way there isn't any customer confusion between the shops, as well as trying to think where I was going with it. Oh, so if you had a physical shop and you wanted to create a printable shop, you can do that. You just have to tell the buyer in the announcements. There's a whole criteria. I'd have to find the link on it, that you have to make the customer aware that there's other shops. The other part is, I always give the example of this, and it's not going to make sense when I say it, but it will once I finish. I purchased my clothing, my shirts at a grocery store, right? So that means that I go to Walmart where they sell groceries and I purchase my clothes. So what's the difference of having digital with a physical? There isn't, unless you're wanting to build a significant brand. Now, I don't purchase my groceries at Michael's or Michael Kors or that sort. I'm trying to think of the other ones that are Guess Jeans, if there's even that anymore. I don't go to those clothing spots to purchase my groceries, because that's not what they offer. So it's kind of up to you what you would want to do. The other part is, though, I will say from past experiences, the more shops you add on, you're only, and I don't say this to be discouraging, you're also adding on other layers of having to manage. And if that's going to be a time management issue because you have multiple shops, it may be better just to focus in on one, where you only manage one, a physical.
Now, you can have categories within a store, right?
Yep, you can. Yep.
And so, and the benefit, there are a lot of benefits to having one store too, because you could have your different niches be different categories, but you can cross sell a lot easier than you can if you have different stores. Am I right? Because I'm not an Etsy expert.
Yeah, nope, that's true. The idea is whatever you have in the store is only more keywords, more opportunity, more draw into your store. So if you have a physical where you're selling antiques and they're like, oh, I'm into making journals,
Mhm.
or I need a menu planner. Yeah, I didn't realize that these people had this too. So as
Yeah.
crazy as it sounds, that does happen.
That's a good point. Okay, a couple more questions that were in the chat. Let's see here.